A very good day from my model airport, where today I will be showing you all the traffic on my model airport. The airport consists of 4 sections, namely the wide-body terminal, the narrow-body terminal, which has several remote stands next to it. There are 8 cargo stands, and hidden at the back of the airport is a military part. Last I will discuss all the traffic on the runway and taxiways. My airport is located in Amsterdam. It's a fictional airport, which means it's not based on any airport. But the traffic on the airport does look like the traffic on Schiphol Airport. Here we are at the B terminal for all the narrow body aircraft, where we have a KLM 737-700, where the passengers are boarding the aircraft for a flight to London Heathrow Airport. Next to that we have another Boeing 737-800 in this case, from Transavia, being prepared for its flight to Faro in the south of Portugal. Next up is a Swiss Airbus A321. The aircraft has just arrived from Zurich in Switzerland and it will return back to Zurich in just over 20 minutes. And the final aircraft at the narrow body terminal is this KLM Cityhopper Embraer E190, which is being pushed back from the stand for a flight to Belfast in Northern Ireland. That is it for all the traffic on the narrow body terminal. We're moving on to the narrow body remote stands, where in the back we have an Iceland Air Boeing 757 in the Hekla Aurora livery, being prepared for its flight back to Reykjavik. And in front of the Iceland Air we have a British Airways Airbus A321, where the passengers are boarding the aircraft for a flight to London Heathrow. Next we have a Ryanair Boeing 737-800 waiting for pushback clearance for a flight to Barcelona Reus Airport. And behind the Ryanair 737 is a EasyJet A321neo, which has just landed and has almost arrived at his parking stand after a flight from Vienna. And the last aircraft at this part is an Aer Lingus Airbus A320, which is being fueled up, catered, and the passengers are boarding as it's due to depart to Dublin in 30 minutes. Now that's it for all the narrow body aircraft. Now we move on to the wide body terminal. Here we have the big wide body terminal consisting of 7 aircraft stands for all the intercontinental traffic. First up is this Emirates Boeing 777, which arrived from Dubai last night and will depart to Dubai back soon. Behind the Emirates we have a Delta Airbus A350. The final ground service equipment is leaving the aircraft, the pushback is being connected, and the flight is ready to depart to Atlanta. Moving on to the KLM Airbus A330. It has just arrived from Saint Martin in the Caribbean. It had an unruly passenger on board, which is being transported off the aircraft into the police hands. Next we have another KLM in my favorite colors, the orange pride colors. We have a Boeing 777. Which is almost ready to depart for a long flight to Tokyo. Next to the Orange Pride we have another KLM Boeing 777-300, which has just arrived from Las Vegas. The passengers are leaving the aircraft through a new 3D printed jet bridge, and at the back of the aircraft cleaning has already begun. Next up is a Korean Air Airbus A330 in the Pyeongchang 2018 Olympic Special livery. It's just arrived from Seoul and will depart back to Seoul in a few hours. And the final aircraft at the wide body terminal is this United Dreamliner. It's being pushed back from its gate, about to take off to the airport of San Francisco. Behind the United aircraft is a LOT Dreamliner, which is stranded here at the airport because it's got technical problems and it's waiting for new parts to be delivered. Now that is it for the wide body terminal, and we move on to the cargo section, where it's really busy and we have 8 aircraft all being loaded up for departure. Starting all the way in the back of the cargo section we have this Kalita Air Boeing 767-300, which has just arrived and it's parked at its stand after a flight from Leipzig. Next to the Kalita Boeing 767 we have another 767 from UPS. It's arrived last night from Memphis International Airport and it's unknown where it's heading next. Here is a Qatar Cargo Boeing 747-8 freighter. It's arrived from Doha and will be returning back to Doha, but there isn't any ground traffic around it, so it's unknown when it's going to depart. Next to the Qatar 747 we have another 747 in the Cargolux colors. It's being loaded through its nose, and after the loading has been finished it will depart to Hong Kong. Moving to the other side we have a DHL Airbus A330 at the back. There isn't any ground service equipment around the aircraft, but we do know that it's due to depart to the East Midlands anytime. Next to the DHL is an Etihad Cargo Boeing 777 freighter, which has just arrived from Abu Dhabi Airport. And finally we have two more 747s, these are the 400 variants. The first one being from KLM Cargo. The aircraft should be leaving to Los Angeles very soon. And the last cargo aircraft is this UPS Boeing 747. It's currently being fueled up and the crew is boarding the aircraft for a flight to Dubai. That is it for the cargo section. Now we move over to the military section, where a bunch of aircraft like this Airbus A400M and this C-17 Globemaster are parked, but nobody knows what's going to happen with them. We do have this Airbus A330 MRTT aircraft from the Royal Dutch Air Force. It's currently operating training missions above the North Sea. A lot of work still needs to be done here at the military section, like a hangar and all the trees being put up right, which in the future will allow more aircraft to be at the military section. Now that's it for all the aircraft standing still on the airport, but we do have some moving traffic on the taxiways and runways. First is ANA Boeing 777, which is taxiing out to the runway for a flight to Osaka in Japan. There also is a Qatar Boeing 777, which has just arrived from Doha, and it needs to wait for a parking spot to become free. Entering the runway we have an Etihad Boeing 787 Dreamliner, which is about to take off for a flight to Abu Dhabi. And the final aircraft on the airport is this SAS Airbus A320. The aircraft has just landed after a flight from Stockholm and will now taxi to its gate. And with that we have discussed all of the traffic on my model airport. I hope you enjoyed watching this video all the way to the end, and I would like to thank you for that. Please consider to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know if you like this form of content and if you want to see more. And then I will see you in the next video.